Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to what can only be described as a soaking wet Brazil. We are done with with season 15, unfortunately, but we have a few races that we need to rerun. So tonight, we are rerunning our MRC-X race from Brazil, and it should be a very, very good night. I mean, this is just perfect for what we want to see for a rerun, a soaking wet qualifying in Brazil. I'm very, very excited, and I am joined tonight by none other than Kisa Soze himself. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing very well indeed, thank you very much. I hope you're well.
Yeah, we're hanging in there. Good evening, Martin Hills in the YouTube chat, and also at some point on track. Yeah, how are you doing, bud?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. I'm all right. I'm a bit
Good.
like yourself, actually. I was quite pleased to see, I know everyone will probably hate us, but quite pleased to see the rain.
It's not just raining, it is absolutely chucking it down.
This has got to be, I think, if we go back on the entire season so far, probably the wettest I've seen any race this season.
Now, I can't remember what it was, but we had a full wet qualifying in Tier 1 race this season, didn't we?
Right,
I can't remember where it was.
I'm interested to find out if this is just for qualies or if it's going to roll through to the race.
For those who decided, I'm going to be good, I'm going to rerun MRC-X and take part, they're now looking at this and going, oh, God, why did I agree to this?
What have I done?
Hungary, there you go. Mark saved us. It was Hungary, Tier 1. It was absolutely peeing it down in quali.
There we go. Thank you, Mark. Well, Mark obviously knows I've spoken about it opening before. Memory's shocking on my side.
Yeah.
I remember a wet collie somewhere, but not a race as yet.
But here we go. Kid Dynamite is our first driver to set a lap. He's going to brake nice and early. I'm going to try and give you some braking points in the full wet, but my knowledge of full wet braking points is not that great, so I'll do the best I can. And he gets onto the DRS straight. Oh, a little bit twitchy, but keeps it together pretty nicely. Then he's going to brake probably just after the 150 board. Plenty of time in advance. Fourth gear, yeah, very nice. He gets on the power really nicely there, actually. You need to be so careful. Normally you lift and go to about 6th gear here. I would suggest, yeah, he's going down to 5th. That is pretty sensible. Very careful on the throttle. And down to 3rd, keeps it nice and tight. Very careful on the throttle here. You can lose it in the dry around here, never mind on full wets. But he does very, very nicely there. And then brake nice and early down to 2nd gear. Maybe want to short shift to 3rd. Ah, he read my mind. There you go. And then normally this would be flat, but it's a sort of, you keep your foot on about 50% in the full wets. Very early braking down to 3rd. Probably short shift to 4th. Oh no, he's a brave man. He kept it in 3rd. Tried to get the momentum going. And let's see what he's going to do. A good lap around here in the wets. About in the dry is about a 1:08. If you Ugoni, probably about a 1:02. 21 from Kid Dynamite, which for a first lap is not bad at all.
No, not bad banker.
See who else we've got. Smith is coming towards the end of his lap. And he's looking like he's doing okay, actually. Here he comes. 1:23.4. Not a bad little lap. I mean, G-Star is a nasty man to try and have to beat out of pole position. G-Star with a... Oh, that is close between Kid and G-Star.
4 thousandths, is that?
400, yeah, 500ths.
Sorry,
yeah. Very close. Then a 23.2 for Loppy. So there you go, Smith, our Tier 3 driver for the night, along with Scottish. Only 2/10 off of Loppy from Tier 2. So that is a very decent lap from Smith.
Not bad going at all.
Oh, very, very twitchy from Scottish Ninja. Oh, and that's not the track.
Commentator's curse there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just ruined it. 23.6 for Amar.
So that's not too bad. Just put himself in 5th place. Mind you, Saviour's not come out yet, and he's been absolutely on fire.
Saviour's retired from the session, I think. He's doing a very stereotypical Saviour last to first challenge. I mean, there's less people to worry about on this particular race, but he does like a last to first challenge.
Probably so. Mark's doing as well.
Oh, Kid set another lap, and it's a 19.9. That is significantly better.
That's just driving skill as well there, because the track conditions certainly haven't changed. It's still...
No, indeed. It is still very, very wet. But it does take a while to get proper heat into these tyres, so he'll be a bit more confident now. Let's see how Scottish Ninja does. Honestly, he took that first sector pretty well. Looked very stable. Trying to stay off the dry line and keep some coolness in his tyres. He's improved by a 10th. I don't know what his first sector was last time. That could be amazing. That could be very, very average. I'm not sure.
He did just have a bit of a moment, I think, out of turn 5.
He hasn't got any ERS turned on, so that's interesting.
Maybe he's doing 2 laps then.
Yeah, he's looking pretty stable, to be fair. If he can keep steady on the throttle, then his setup doesn't look too bad here, to be fair. And he comes round what is effectively the final corner. And actually, this isn't looking like a terrible time, to be honest, considering he hasn't used any ERS whatsoever.
No. I'm wondering if it's just burning a tiny little bit at the end there.
Yeah. Gets him into P6.
I think this is his fast lap now.
This is going to be his fast lap. So if that was his no ERS run, then actually he could find a decent amount of time here.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely...
Ooh, bit of a twitch!
Oh, I've just seen that in a little bit of delay on the stream as well. And there,
yeah.
It looks a lot more impressive from outside the car.
Oh no, Saviour hasn't left the session.
Just another moment, unfortunately, Ninja.
And he's come out on Inters. He is going to be our first Inters runner. So it's going to be interesting to see what the delta is here. Has it actually crossed over to Inters weather? 19.7 for Kid on the wets? Looking pretty stable from Saviour so far. But then he's a very, very confident driver anyway, so...
Yeah. So his season's been a blinder for him, I think.
Oh, big twitch, though.
He's definitely very, very quick. I've stayed on board with Ninja.
Yeah.
And coming out of that last turning compared to the time that Saviour's just come out of that corner. That's a big jump.
Well, his banker is a 20.8, so there's not a lot of difference between the wets and the Inters right now, to be honest. It's probably that switchover period.
About the rain, it still looks really heavy, but there is definitely at least a vague line appearing on the track.
Yeah, and you don't really see any puddles on track anymore, and that's a good sign that you don't really need the wets anymore.
I would imagine then, if that's the case, if it carries on, we should be looking at low, well, maybe even mid-18s on this.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we've still got 8 minutes of quali left, bear in mind. So there's still plenty of time for the track to get noticeably drier. As we're on with Single Track, who is also out on intermediate tyres. Oh, bit of a twitch there, but kept it going.
Oh.
It's looking like a decent setup from Single Track, just a little bit squirrely on corner exit, but overall pretty good.
Saviour's, I mean, stayed on board with Saviour. He's a slight improvement, but again, he had a moment out of turn, was it been 13, 14.
Yeah.
Coming up the hill, big back end moment.
Yeah, that's where you're likely to lose it if you're gonna lose it.
What's we got? Ninja's pulling over. Who's coming up behind Ninja? There we go. Wardster.
We haven't got loads of people on laps at the moment.
No, if Mordor sticks with it, he's up 3 temps on his last best.
Monster has invalidated.
Ah, there we go, yeah. I must pay attention
Unfortunately.
to that in the bottom right corner. Just get sucked into looking at the time in the car.
Always notice the red in the bottom right-hand corner.
Oh, shame. Right, who else we got?
G-Star is up 6 tenths.
G-Star, yeah. Just jumped on board with it.
Whoa! I've cursed him so badly there.
Big moment.
Oh my gosh! I don't know how he kept it going, but fair play to him.
He even came into the pits then on a hot lap with the boost and everything.
He realised I cursed him and he was like, "I'm done. I've had enough."
Alright. Saviour's, I think, just gone on his final push. Still 6 minutes actually.
Maybe I should be learning from the people who are driving on track and are clearly comfortable driving on track, in that most of them have their ERS set to medium or none, and use overtake when it's a sensible opportunity. Maybe that's quicker in the wet. Maybe this is why my wet qualifying is usually fairly abysmal.
I watched a couple of YouTubes on that, and the general consensus or feedback I got from there was if you're doing a standard lap, put it on medium most of the time. You don't need to use the actual boost. When you're on a nice straight, slap it onto hot lap, and then as you're coming out of corners, whether you're on medium or hot lap, just use a bit of the boost button at that point, just to get the extra boost out the corners, and then then you just leave it on medium or hot lap.
See, we need to do comms together more often, because I'm learning a lot with you.
Well, I learn it all offline.
Oh, there you go.
Esports people was my main go-to.
Oh, 18-7 from Saviour.
Lovely.
20 dead from single track. I think the intermediates might be becoming the better tyre fairly quickly.
Who else we got? Single tracks.
Loppy is now on a set of intermediates by the look of it as well.
Let's see what his first sector comes up as. Alright, 3.5 temps up already, single track sector.
Oh, Monster's invalidated again, unfortunately. I'm wondering if we're going to see a lap from Bit or Ant, who are just casually sitting in the pits right now, and have been for the whole session.
I thought Bit would have liked to have got out there by now, just to get a bit of a feel for it, unless he knows something about the weather that we don't.
It's suddenly going to go super dry at the end, and Bit's going to come and nick pole.
Yeah, come out and set us off. Die in seconds. Right, yeah, single tracks has done a fastest sector 2.
Loppy is 2.7 seconds up on his lap currently. So this could be a very, very good lap if he has a good final sector.
Oh.
Single track with an 18.4. Loppy with an 18.6.
We've got time, we've got 3.5 minutes, so the rest of that field needs to really start thinking about putting a set of inters on.
Kid's got the inters on. Kid is coming to the line. He's on medium. So I assume this is going to be a lap. And he has been consistently fastest in this session, so I'm expecting 17.5 from Armour. What a lap!
That was a bit out of nowhere. I wasn't even looking at that. I was on board with Kid.
Oh my gosh, the track is really, really getting more and more drivable now.
Kid sector 2 comes up at.
Oh, he kept it together just about through there. He tried so hard to keep his foot in the whole way.
Yeah. Definitely a little bit slip-slidey.
I mean, it's looking good so far. Apart from that little control that he had to do there, he's looking very good this lap. Nearly 3 seconds up.
3 seconds even. My God.
This is going to be a monster lap, potentially. This could get him into the 16s if he has a good run to the line.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's only just under two seconds behind at the moment, the leader, so what we got?
Oh, 16 dead! What a lap!
That's low. I mean, second and a half from second place at the moment.
Bit and Ant have indeed left the pits.
They're on wets, though.
No, I've jumped on board with Bit, and he is in fact on intermediates. We have yet another F124 glitch.
Really? Unusual.
I know, you don't expect that, do you?
No, not from such a game maker.
Not from someone like Codemasters, never.
No, never at all.
Oh, I jumped off Bit, that was wrong. Come on, Bit, take pole at the last possible second.
Yeah,
no, unfortunately it is not, but it is a 17.4, so P2. Amar had a very minor improvement in the first sector. He's got a minute and 10. I think he's backed off and he's like, I'm going to come back to this. 1.5 second improvement of single track to a 16.8. Saviour with a second in the first sector. This is purely, at this point, a case of if you cross the line as the final person, you are more than likely going to take pole.
Yeah, it's looking that way, isn't it? I mean, yeah, Saviour's really pushing as well.
Oh, he invalidated!
Controlled slides, but yeah, maybe that was too much.
Just took a little bit too much curb. I think he's got time to... Oh, he's got 25 seconds. I think this is the end of Saviour.
Oh, I don't know. It could be... Oh, it's really close. 17. Oh, no, it's not going to be enough. I don't think he's going to be just before the
10, 9, 8, 7. Go, Saviour, go. 6, 5. Run, Saviour. 4, 3, 2. He hasn't made it. No!
Oh, how close was that?
1 extra second and he'd have been there. Oh, that's absolutely gutting for him.
Seconds up on his time at the moment, so that should put him up a few places. Not too much, but...
Is he still on the right? No, he is on the Inters.
Yeah, he's as well another game genius.
P7.
There we go.
Amar at the end of the second sector is 1.2 seconds up. Oh, this is actually going to be really close with Kid. Can Amar pull a godly lap out of the bag at the final possible second? He's going to do a 15.9!
Oh dear.
But Kid's coming through. Up to the line and he does a 15 dead.
There you go. Definitely all came in. I mean, you can see it on the track now. It looks pretty much dry, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And G-Star's going to be our final person to finish a lap as he comes down the not straight pit straight.
Yeah, he's not near enough.
And put himself into P2.
Nice.
So there we go. G-Star stays in 4th place. That was a mighty lap from Amar. Fair play to him.
Yeah, there's a few people that are quite surprising laps there.
So there we go. Your starting grid will be Kid takes pole, followed by Ant and Amar Red in 3rd. Then you got G-Star, Single Track, Loppy, Bit, Monster, Saviour, and then Scottish Ninja and Smit in P11. Well, that was a fun qualifying.
Yeah.
Now we find out whether it's going to be a wet race as well.
Yeah. I think it's if it's wet. I mean, you got to think the top 5 or 6 there. They're gonna be in a chopping and changing train around the circuit. I would have thought.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was getting quite dry there. I'd have thought they would have been a bit closer to the sort of 1 minute 10, so I wonder if they're on wet setups because, no, it's dry.
Oh, sunshine.
So there we go. They were apparently using a dry setup in the wet, qualifying like absolute gods, because I remember qualifying in the wet at Spa, but it was going to be a dry race, so I was like, well, I've got to use my dry setup and wing it. Never take Eau Rouge in the wet on a dry setup. It does not work. It just doesn't work.
I remember when I first joined up in the league, I think we had a race round, I think it was Monza, so not majorly bad in the wet, but I didn't have any kind of wet setup. I didn't know it was going to be a wet race. I just loaded my dry setup and cracked on with my 0 wings.
Yeah.
And then spent an entire race tiptoeing around every single part of the track.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
My debut in MRC was a Tier 2 race. I was reserving in Hungary. And when I tell you it was wet, oh my god. I think I used about 6 front wings that race.
Oh yeah, first race, wet, Hungary. That's
and my first ever wet race on wheel as well, so I was just screwed from the start. Well, I'd better warn the ladies and gentlemen of when we'll be readying up.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
I forgot that I'm doing that. My apologies to everyone listening on the YouTube chat. We'll be going at 20:07. Yeah, close enough. There we go. That makes sense in my head. So there we go. Monster says, can't drive in the wet to save my life. Do you know what? Nor can I. Especially in comparison to the rest of the people that I'm in a tier with. They're just, like, disgusting in the wet.
Yeah. I think for me as well, it's not something that massively interests me, so I just don't put the practice laps in on a wet session. I just don't enjoy it as much.
Do you know what? I enjoy racing in the wet when it's going well. If it's not going well, then it's worse than a dry race that's not going well.
Yeah. No, I just don't enjoy it. I feel like everyone's going around too slow and you should be able to throttle it down more, and because you can't, I just get a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, exactly. Although I have found on this game, it's actually quicker if you're happy to get a little bit slidey. If you're happy to let your rear end just poke out a little bit, it's actually a lot quicker.
Yeah, I think I found that out using, funnily enough, Ugoni's setup once round Austria, and coming out of turn 1 and technically turn 2, but they call it 3. But yeah, coming out of those turn-ins for the first time with his setup, and like I say, the back end was all over the place.
Yeah.
A few laps to get used to it, and then it was like sort of just sliding it slightly around the corners, and I was gaining over the whole lap probably about half a second. Crazy, but I can't do that in a race.
Austria is where I figured that out as well, when we had the Tier 2 race there last season. One of my 2 victories that season, and it was going well, and I hadn't bothered to look at the weather. I was just like, it'll be fine. And I was driving along, and my engineer suddenly goes, rain in 5 minutes. I was like, oh, no. And we had like 15 laps to go. I was like, oh, I'm in a pickle here. Yeah. And I had to do it on a dry setup, and that's where I figured out, if you just slide it round the corner and get the throttle on right, you gain so much time, it's unreal.
Yeah. It's quite a skill to have.
Monster says, loved watching wet races as a Button fan back in the day. Yeah, he was another level of wet racing driver.
Canada.
What year was that? 2000 gosh. 2011? Was it 2011?
I'm going to shout at my other half.
I'm placing my bets that it was 2011. Chat, if you know for a fact, then feel free to correct me.
Right. I can't remember what year it was. I went away and I watched the rest of the race when I got there because it was delayed for so long.
2011 Canada Grand Prix, because I know for a fact it was Canada. Jensen Button definitely won.
He did, because he got, who did he get? I'm sure it was on the chicane. and I want to say he wobbled like Webber or somebody like that for Vettel.
Yeah, there you go. A second safety car deployment caused by the collision of Button and his teammate closed the gap between cars. So that's where Button went to the back and he just went, it's not over.
Yeah.
I wish I had Button's mentality, you know, to go right to the back of a race in the wet and go, I can win this.
Yeah, that much confidence as well. I've got the car under me. I know I can do it. Let's just put your foot down and have it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Right, we should be going any minute. Oh, it's 20:07. I'll just make sure that the drivers are in fact readying up. Run. There we go. I've sent my GIF, so hopefully everyone is now readying up. And we should be going any minute. I'm very intrigued to... I don't think I raced Brazil Tier 1. So I have no idea, like, strategy-wise, is it better to start on the mediums or the hards, or I have no idea. Are the softs, like, weirdly good on this track? I have no idea.
I don't know either. I generally, as a rule, just if I'm in the top 10, I'll start on mediums, if in the bottom 10, hards.
Good system.
This is not too abrasive on the tyres, I think. There's not some, most of the tight corners nice and slow.
Yeah. It's not the split I was expecting. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Most of them are on mediums, and then 5 people on softs. Nobody's gone for the hard tyre. Mark Hodgson said for Tier 1, it was wet, I went backwards into a wall, standard. Probably best if I don't comment on that, Hodgie. But there we go. I mean, Armar, in a cracking position up in P3. Single track can definitely have a very good race from P5. Loppy is a very good racer, can be very aggressive, so I wouldn't be surprised if he came through the track a bit.
And I think even a bit as well, a bit of a dark horse. I think he's found a lot of pace lately.
Bit's a very interesting racer because he's not incredibly aggressive in terms of attacking, but he can be very, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, don't misinterpret, he's very aggressive on defence in the fact that he defends hard but fair.
Yeah.
So he can be a really hard guy to get past. So he could have a very good race here as well. Saviour, however, in P9 is very out of position, so I think we'll see him come through the grid a bit.
Yeah, especially with those tyres as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, good. I'm looking from the back of the grid. I love it when that happens. So I'm going to go on board with Mr. Dynamite instead for the start of the race, which I believe C8 Lou is in his position. So we're getting ready to go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are away in Brazil. And it's a very good start and a very bad start for Kid, who almost binned it off the line.
Jeez, Dal just made a nice move past Armar as well.
Armar's doing his best to hang in there. He's got single track round the outside. Who's going to be braver going down towards the next turn? Single track gets the move done. As Saviour sends it on the outside of Loppy, but Loppy takes it back on exit. Very nice there.
Saviour's just a bit off track there. I think those two are both going to be pushing hard as well. They want to get past Armar as quickly as possible, don't they, really?
Definitely. Armar is either going to be doing really, really well and keeping up with the top boys, or he's going to become the sort of cork in the bottle for people like Saviour.
Yeah.
But everyone's kept within the DRS range for the entirety of the first lap, so that's quite nice to see.
Yeah.
We just have one very long DRS train.
There's cloud at the back. I I would have thought he'd have made a little bit more of a move on Smith, maybe even got a bit closer to Ninja. And Cloud's relatively new here, isn't he? But he's
Yeah.
got some pace usually.
He's come to the league and just decided to start dropping assists. So he's kind of learning as he's going, and he's doing very well. Fair play to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Always got a bit of respect for those people that like to push it.
Absolutely.
And not really managed to pull the second gap.
No, indeed.
Got the advantage on tyres, but he's pulling away a little bit.
Speaking of Jenson Button, is it just me or does Single Track's car look vaguely sort of Brawn GP-esque?
Definitely has that look to it, yeah. It's got an external view. Check everyone else's. Ants is not far off it either, to be honest.
No, it's not. People are liking the Brawn GP look today.
Yeah. Continue gold.
Always Bit and Monster is side by side. Monster gets a very good exit out of the Senna S's.
I think Bit just sort of tucked in behind a little bit there just to wait.
Realised he couldn't defend, so let's get in and use some slipstream.
Been watching a bit of the new season of esports as well.
Oh yeah, that was a great race around Jeddah yesterday.
Yeah, and the gaps between the drivers on that are absolutely crazy.
It's mental that they're just driving around for a whole lap, more or less constantly within 0.3 of the car ahead. It is just crazy to me.
Yeah, absolutely, and quali as well is probably, I don't know, I think there was, I don't know if it was Jeddah or another track, but there was basically about 4 temps between first and 20th.
Everyone was in, I think it was the 126s yesterday, and I was just like, I couldn't hit a 126 on my best ever day. B, they were all within about 5 or 6 tenths. It was just crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I could be within half a second of Ugoni, I'd consider that the biggest win of my life.
Yeah, well, I normally pick myself against Mr. Bailey. If I can, if I'm on an average lap for myself, that normally means I'm about a second slower than Bailey.
Yeah.
What was it? When we raced at Qatar, I had to comment. I think we got within 4 tenths of him for the first time since joining MRC, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So I knew that was a good quality session because it was under the second for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. If I get top 10 in Tier 1 in qualifying, then I'm a happy boy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right, Armar is now in a position to potentially make a move here on single track. And as I say that, he is really sending it down towards the first corner. Who's going to be braver in the centre S? There's a little bit of tagging. Armar lets single track back through. Saviour's right there as well. As single track moves to the middle, he's going to be sandwiched. Actually, Armar came out well there. Oh, he just ran off track, though. Through goes Saviour. That's unfortunate for Armar. He gained one, he lost one, he's right back where he started, basically.
Yeah. I wonder how long it's going to take Saviour now, how many laps to get that 3 seconds.
Well, that's the other issue now, is because this is what I said, Armar could become the cork in the bottle. Now that Saviour's got past, he's got quite a gap he's got to pull back there. Oh, who's gone round? It is Cloud.
Yeah. Back. Damage. I think so. I think it was far enough away from looked like one of the turns where you're not going to hit a wall. No damage.
Good. Armar does close that gap back down to Saviour, but thinks better of making a move into turn 1. If he's sensible, he'll just use Saviour to pull him along.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Have the DRS to defend from single track and just pull him closer to the front runners, hopefully. 3 seconds for Ant.
Already, that's pretty early on.
That's unusual for Ant. Normally he's pretty good at not getting penalties. I'm wondering whether the softs may not have actually been the tyre to go for, because Saviour doesn't seem to have typical Saviour pace, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, and even G-Star, like I say, I know Ant and him are pretty nippy, but he's not really closing the gap. Even in the tight turnings where you'd expect the
Yeah.
softs to have the advantage, he's still pulling the gap. Got another. Oh,
It's
out.
oh, Ninja's out. Oh no! But that's the safety car that, well, it hasn't really worked out for G-Star, unfortunately. But for Saviour, he's gone. Yes, thank you very much. Into the pits I go.
Now you go on to what would you do now? I mean, I personally, I'd stick it on a set of hards and go to the end.
Yeah, to be honest, I would as well.
29 laps round here, that's got to be done.
Ant's beaten the safety car, so even the medium runners can sort of go,
Yeah.
I would put on a set. Well, would you put on a set of hards? I mean, 20. Probably going to be a good 28 laps of racing by the time the safety car comes in.
Yeah, I still think that'd be alright. Do you know, trying to think back, we said at the beginning, can't really remember the tyre degradation round here, but I'm sure this one's not too bad with hards.
Yeah. I mean, the hards do just generally go very, very far on this game anyway. Excluding Qatar, that's just the anomaly in terms of tyre wear.
That's, yeah, I daren't even pull the menu up to look at the tyre wear when I'm going around there, it's too scary.
No, indeed. I remember I did my out lap for my quali lap on a set of soft tyres. And I was like, let's just check they're up to temperature, and I went past my wear, and I was like, I've used 5% wear on my out lap. 5%!
Yeah.
It's
Crazy.
mental!
Absolutely crazy. I think when I did a practice session round there, I went around on a set of hards, and I think I did about 8 or 9 laps, and my front left, I think it was at about 48%.
Oh my gosh!
Hold on a minute, it's a set of hards, I've done less than 10 laps.
Oh, it's mental, isn't it?
Right, okay, Ant's finally caught the safety car.
So there we go. Smith is... He's on the back, but he's got his hard tyres on. He can go to the end.
That's it, he's on his way.
Single track and G-Star have gone for mediums.
Now, are they thinking another late safety car maybe? People pushing towards the end?
Well,
Jump
maybe
in,
what
get
they're
another
thinking
set of softs
is... Well, the top 5 are all going to have to pit, because they haven't.
on. Yeah.
So go with mediums, have a good stint... And at the point another safety car, potentially, I'm not going to try and jinx it, comes out, maybe I can use a second set of mediums and just skip the hards altogether.
Yeah. That'd be a good shout. Obviously depends on the outcome of the remaining laps.
Because although they are better on this game, and I will admit the hards are better on this game, if I could avoid them, I'm not going to lie to you, I absolutely would.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I'm like that with the soft tyres. The soft tyres for me get used in qualifying and pretty much that's it.
Yeah, they're not a great race tyre on this game. I mean, actually, again, Qatar's the anomaly. The hard tyres felt beautiful in Qatar. They felt absolutely stunning.
I found they felt alright, but like I say, I still had that crazy wear on the front.
Yes, the wear is still tragically depressing around Qatar on a set of hard tyres. But I found it so much easier to be consistent on hards than I could on mediums.
No, I agree with that.
Which is bizarre.
I'm on my wife's face in front of me. She's got the roof on now.
Nice.
Right.
So Smith's caught up to the safety car. So in theory, we should be racing at the end of this lap. One hopes.
So I'm going to get top up on the screen. Yeah, it's usually about now.
It's not quite giving me the view I want to see. I was just going to see if anybody who hadn't pit had damage, but I don't think they do. I'm not going to get the opportunity to find out. Safety car's in. And we ride on board with Mr. Ant. And see when he's going to go. He's doing, I believe... Yes, he is. He's doing what I affectionately call a night shadow safety car restart and taking it so slow that your tyres go from being well heated to being blocks of ice. And he's gone! And he nearly died! He nearly died! He nearly lost it. That is what you get for doing a stupid safety car restart. Armar, however, had a great restart and is right on the back of Kid Dynamite. But not going to make a move. Oh, Saviour having a look on the outside of Cloud, but couldn't get it done.
Yeah, he had a good restart there, actually, Saviour. He didn't get dropped at all. He managed to stick it in. I think he's going to make a move now.
He is.
To sit behind Cloud.
I might be on hard tyres, but I'm going to make them work.
Yeah, I suppose Cloud's now in that, like you said, he's on the 9-lap olds.
Yeah, he's kind of the new cork in the bottle, depending how hard he defends. Oh! As G-Star, that was a very aggressive move by G-Star. 1 minute he was on one side, and then he just went, yeet, I'm going round. But he makes it work. Fair play to him.
He's got it done, yeah. Single track's next, I would imagine. Is he going to wait?
Absolutely not. Oh, yes, he is, actually.
Oh, no! Did that cause the spin? Did that wobble the man ahead?
He didn't do anything, to be fair. I was saying because I've been in that situation that Single Track was just in, where you turned round a corner and there's a car that's sideways in front of you and you're going, please ghost, please ghost, please ghost.
Yeah. Whether or not the game decides to make it invisible or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Heart in the mouth moment. But no, that was quite nice. I think Single Track just put his nose out behind him a little bit. Yeah. I think he maybe thought, oh, better get the throttle down.
What Single Track did was the fake dive, where you move to the outside and then just apply the brakes normally, and you make someone go, oh no, when they brake really late.
Who's close now? Still really Saviour.
Saviour and Bit. Saviour is I think he has a lot more pace than Bit, but as I've said, Bit doesn't just get out of the way for anyone. If Ugoni was behind him, you best believe Bit is going to get in his way as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And all that's doing, I mean, Saviour's got to be getting a bit nervous because it's giving G-Star just drawing him into the back of Saviour as well.
Well, Saviour's got the advantage that he's one of only 4 people on this grid who realistically doesn't have to stop again.
I actually made that look quite straightforward there.
Yeah. Now, Kid's hanging on to the back of Ant pretty nicely, but isn't making a move.
Could be recharge mode.
Could be, yeah.
Possibly.
G-Star definitely has the initial pace over Saviour, but I don't know how long it's going to be until that Delta's going to switch.
Who've we got? Oh, it stopped already. Sorry, I saw a flag there.
I don't think there's any... Oh, there is damage. Smith is missing an end plate.
Oh yeah, left side.
Now, did Armar get DRS? I'm not sure he did. He didn't. So that's kind of played into Saviour's hands a little bit as well. And Armar is on recharge mode.
Yeah, I was going to say, just used a big old chunk, I think, down that straight to maybe try and make up for the lack of DRS.
But I don't expect it'll be too long before, and as I say that, Saviour is immediately Through he goes. Oh, let's watch this. Yeah, Kid gets through as well.
Yeah, it's just taking pole position back.
And this battling is actually exactly what Saviour needs. To allow him to pull them back in.
Sorry, I was on board with G-Star. He nearly stuck it right up the inside of Armor there. So close. Getting impatient.
Oh no, that's not how you make a move.
No. No comment.
But single track goes, wahaha, thank you for the DRS.
Thank you. I'll take that.
Yeah. I was fighting so hard to keep it behind me and you've just made my life better, thank you. So it's Ant and Kid now.
Yeah, that's it. They're just going to trade places, aren't they, for a few laps?
Yeah, realistically, and I'd say 4 laps, 3, maybe 4 laps until they're going to think, maybe it's time to get off the medium tyres.
Yeah. They're doing quite well. 14 laps on them at the moment.
Oh, Ant got a very good run, though. Surely he's not going to send it on the outside here. He had half a look. He's getting twitchy and Saviour's right behind him. I can hear the Jaws theme music playing through Saviour's radio.
He's not got to do anything now, though, has he? Really, just sit there and wait. They're either going to pit or they're going to battle so much. He's just going to, run straight past the pair of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Single track has unfortunately dropped back out of DRS, but Bit has also dropped out of his DRS, so he's just running his own race a little bit at the moment.
This Darth just done fastest lap. He's going to go for a move up the inside of Armor. Got it done. Big ball. Alright, there's some wheel to wheel there.
That was proper wheel to wheel, my gosh. They've both got DRS. Is Armar going to try and fight it?
I don't know, he's not giving it up.
He's not.
Oh, unfortunate for Cloud there.
Yes, Saviour's really starting to look pacey on those hard tyres. They are starting to come into their own now.
8 laps in. So if that's the same case then, you'd expect old P. Mortimer to start reeling in now as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Loppy has definitely reeled Bit in a lot now. And Monster is also just sat behind, ready to pick up any scraps that come his way.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I think he has just noticed on the Cloud going into the pit, got a 2-second speeding penalty and then swiftly greyed out.
Unfortunate for him.
Yeah, it's really annoying when that happens.
Yeah. Oh, Saviour might have half a chance on Ant here, depending how hard Ant defends.
Oof.
He defends very hard.
Right in the middle of the track there. He's not giving up though. I think Saviour still wants to have a go. Oof.
I actually thought Saviour was just going to send it up the inside there. I was like, please don't do it.
No. I mean, he's going to have to wait now, surely. It's better for him to wait now, in all fairness.
There's no sensible place to make a move through this entire sector of track.
No. I've thought about it so many times, but like you say, you think about doing it and what happens.
Yeah.
Well, we saw it a few corners back. That's
exactly. You just see the gap and you go, I can fit in that gap.
Yeah.
I can fit in that. And it just goes badly wrong. Oh, here comes Saviour. Is he going to send it down the inside into the centre S's? He's going to try and hang it in there. Oh, that curb can be deadly.
Oh,
G-Star retired.
No.
G-Star in the wall.
No.
That is so easy to do because those curbs around the centre S's are deadly.
Yeah.
You catch it slightly wrong and it is throwing your car into the wall.
There's a little bump on the inside of the track as well, just by the curb.
Yeah.
And if you slightly over throttle through that, the whole car just gets unsettled, and that's it.
So Armar pitted, which is sensible. Get onto the hard tyres, go to the end. I approve. You have to imagine that Kid and Ant are going to go in at the end of this lap.
You've got to now, haven't you? Now, they started on the mediums as well. Yeah. So, they've got no choice now either to do hard. Well, they're going to have to go on to hards, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Unless they've got a medium soft run planned.
But with Saviour on those hards, I mean, no, in they go, both of them. So through goes Saviour. Now the question is, a single track's going back in, presumably for another set of mediums.
Interesting.
Monster's coming in the pits. Monster is on a set of hards that could probably go to the end, and he's back in the pits.
That's a strange one. Maybe some damage, possibly. Any changing on the wings?
Yes, he's changing the front
Yes.
wing.
Yeah, maybe there you go.
That's very unfortunate.
Bits in.
Is Armar gonna get anyone on the pit exit? It is gonna be. I don't think he is, unfortunately. No, he's not gonna gain any positions. And single track, just as I predicted, goes for his second set of mediums. By the time the safety car comes in, he's going to have, I would guess, 18, 19, probably going to come in end of 19, 20, so 17 racing laps on a set of medium tyres.
And that's medium. Did you say it's medium he's done so far?
Well, he started on the softs.
Oh, yeah, that's it, yeah, sorry, yeah.
So he's gone soft, medium.
Yeah. Okay.
Excuse me, but 17 laps.
Bit ropey at the end, isn't it?
They are going to be a little bit ropey at the end, those mediums, I think. He really wanted the safety car to come out 3 or 4 laps later.
We should. Oh, it's not going to come in. Still got.
We've got another lap, yes. Bit and Smith.
Well, at least everyone's going to score some points.
Yeah, indeed. That is the beautiful thing about MRC-X. Is you're going to score points.
Always worth it.
Always going to score points just by finishing the race. Obviously, we say this. It's so easy as racers when things go wrong to drive into the pit lane, click quit, and just be like, I'm done, I've had enough. But X is the one race where you will score points.
Yeah. And again, even like you say, the rage quit thing, sometimes when you feel it's all gone to pot, you've had to change your wing maybe once or twice near the back.
Yeah.
If you just come back out and stick with it, 9 times out of 10, there's another safety car. You're back on the back of the pack.
Exactly.
And you've got another go.
That's one thing that I actually really struggled with Tier 1 at the start, is you don't get a lot of safety cars in Tier 1.
No.
So you make a mistake, whereas when I was in Tier 2, I'd make a mistake and I'd be like, right, I need a safety car, there's going to be one at some point, it'll be fine. In Tier 1, if you make a mistake, you're just like, what do I do?
It's like a practice session then, isn't it?
Yeah. You're like, what do I do? I've just got to keep going and there's not going to be a safety car.
Hope and pray. Occasionally you do catch people when the different pit stops come in and you have a bit of a joyful moment.
But most of the time you're just like, well, I'm running my own race now, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But here we go, the safety car is coming in. Saviour will be leading us away. I believe he's doing a much more respectable 40 miles an hour rather than 30. Tyres will still be getting chilly. Gonna want to be careful when you plant that throttle, Saviour. How late is he gonna go?
I got a feeling.
Is he gonna take it all the way to the line? He's changed to second. He's changed to third, and he goes! Loppy really has not been caught sleeping by that at all.
No, neither's Kid, to be perfectly honest. Sort of just watched it happen and followed on.
And did a little bit, but it's not too bad. In fact, nobody's really fallen off at all with that one.
No. Single track going to get the move done on that. Yeah.
Very nice move by Single Track. Ant is another one who's a very hard defender, so Single Track did really well there.
Yeah. Not taking any time with getting the use out of them tyres, I think.
I've got mediums. I've got to make hay while the sun is shining here.
Yeah. You got to imagine now, it's got to be, I mean, depending on how he looks after the tyres, it's got to be between him and Kid.
Yeah.
Him, Kid and Ant are there technically top 3 at the moment.
Yeah, indeed. It's going to be interesting to see how Loppy fares on those hard tyres towards the end of the race. I'm fairly certain that Loppy and Saviour are pretty good mates. However, will they play the team game or will they start fighting?
Or maybe, so help each other out a bit to try and pull the gap.
Oh, Kid's had a very, very nice exit out of the centre S's. But with the DRS, Loppy's able to defend.
Yeah, they're both on pretty even kills at the moment by the looks of it.
I mean, they're both on cold hards right now, so they're fairly even in that respect. Once the tyres get up to temperature, then you're going to see the 10-lap difference between Kid and Loppy on pace. Oh, Louis said, sorry for leaving so suddenly, had to attend my son. All good, my friend. Family always comes first.
All in the training. I mean, I've got a feeling as well, Bit might be able to get a move done on the Smith into turn 1. Forward thinking the lap at the moment, but...
As Kid gets ahead of Loppy. Is Loppy going to fight back into the S? He brakes super late. Oh, he's defending hard. This is wheel to wheel. Oh, he almost pushes Kid off track. Oh, there's a little bit of bumping as well. And Single Track's having half a look now.
It's come out on top. Oh no, Loppy's back. He's got the inside.
Kid gets a much better exit.
Yeah. Tucked in behind now. Is Loppy going to wait now though?
Please wait. Please wait.
Yeah.
Oh, I say that. Single Track absolutely sends it up the inside of Loppy.
Oh.
And then as the outside line. Ooh, what a send by Single Track.
That was definitely a move.
That was ambitious, but somehow pulled it off. Oh, my gosh.
I mean, maybe I forgot that there's plenty of laps left.
Yeah.
Plenty of time to get this done. And it's going to come back on Loppy.
Ooh. Not a lot of room left there.
Doesn't need to be that close on the straight. So Saviour's done really well then staying at the front there, because Loppy's having the complete opposite reaction on these tyres.
Can I just make a point? If one was to ride on board with the driver, I suggest you do, and look to the skies.
Oh.
It is no longer sunny.
It's really not.
No. It's really not sunny. I'm wondering if we might get a bit of rain by the end.
Oh, it's got to happen, isn't it? You can tune into the engineers.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
But it's sort of almost starting to look a little bit slightly hazy in places.
That's how you can normally tell it's going to rain pretty quickly, because you're riding on board and you go, it almost looks slightly misty, you know?
Yeah. Ah, good spot. I'll look for the shadows to start disappearing now as well.
Oh, Kid is sending it on Saviour!
Single Track's just watching and waiting behind.
I think Saviour's going to have the DRS though. Is Single Track going to follow Saviour? It's going to be very close if he does. He does try!
Oh, they're all
Kid Kid gets pushed a little bit wide. Single track has the inside, which is going to become the outside. Is he going to be brave enough to hold it? Oh, he does! Oh, but he runs too wide and Kid holds on. Guys, there's 13 laps left yet. Can we calm?
Oh, sorry. And a little bit of a wobble then. I thought he was going to lose the back end.
Oh my gosh.
This is nuts. This is like the opening lap of a race or the last lap of a race.
Who needs 20 drivers? This is brilliant. Oh my gosh. Oh, Ant's had a brilliant run out of the final corner, mind. He is right on the back of single track here. But he's not going to make the move. Kid, however, is going to make the move. And take over the lead of the race.
Ant's in a really good position at the moment, to be perfectly honest. Just looking at the... I know we don't display it, but the power available is vastly different between those two.
There we go. He's... Oh! Big wheel bashing moment. Single track goes round.
Oh, I just cut away from him at the wrong moment.
Oh my gosh.
That's very, very unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate. Single track was having a great stint there.
Yeah. Did you see what happened?
Loppy's out!
Oh no!
Where'd Loppy go?
What's going on?
There he is! This is mental!
Just gone past. We are down to 8. Safety car. 13 laps to go.
Guys!
Surely, did you think now will come in? Oh, would you though, if you've seen the weather? This is interesting now.
Saviour comes in.
What's he going to put on?
Have they had a little radio call that says, rain imminent?
Yeah, you'd think so.
I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a gander.
He's got on to... Yeah, rain's got to be coming. If you're going on to a set of softs with this many laps left... Well, mind you, 10 now, I suppose, so...
I would be terrified to take a set of softs 10 laps around here, is all I'm going to say.
Well, he's either very brave, or he's like, I know that these are going to last 4 or 5 laps and then the rain's coming.
Yeah. Or the rain is coming right at the end of the race and you want to be on the softest compound possible.
Yeah.
Armar's gone for mediums though, so has Ant.
It's the only one that's, well no, apart from Kid. Kid's in a better position obviously because of the tyres, but yeah, Kid's not pitted there either, which is a bit of a strange move.
Well, this is the other issue, is that, for those of you who aren't aware, we have, for our lobby settings, we have weather set to approximate. So you can look on your dashboard, which I have many, many times, and it says at the top, pissing down with rain, and you drive out of the garage on a set of soft tyres because it's bone dry, and you're like, what? Makes no sense. Similarly, that means engineers can go rain in 5 minutes, and it never arrives.
Yeah, seen that quite a few times with this one.
So maybe Saviour's had a message that says rain any minute now, and Kid's had an engineer going, you got 15 minutes yet, you'll be fine.
Well, at least there you go, bits come in and put the softs on now as well. It's going to be the eight laps of racing left, isn't there, really?
Martin said Soft did 9 laps on full tanks easy. So there you go, he'll be fine.
Oh, right. Okay.
As I've said, I have zero idea about strategy or anything around Brazil because I did my TT lap, went, wow, I am really not that quick, and then I couldn't race anyway, which was a relief for everyone involved. Because I also don't like Brazil as a track. You can hate me for if you want, but I really don't like it.
Oh no, each to their own. I don't mind it myself. It's not one of the ones that I think, when it comes up.
Who put
it's not on the
so
top
many
of the list.
off-camber corners on one track? Why? There's hardly a single corner on this track that is not on some sort of camber.
Yeah.
It's just mental. It's like one of my bugbears in Spain, and I've said this on stream before, and I'll say it again till I'm blue in the face. Why would you put a chicane uphill? Whose bright idea was that?
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, we're about to go back racing. I'll stop absolutely slating 80% of tracks that we race at. And Kid is going to lead us away on his slightly old hard tyres, and he's going to lead us away quite early, actually. He's not hanging about at all.
No, yeah, they sort of caught Saviour a bit there, I think.
Yeah.
He's got the tyres, but he's...
Armagh is not close enough to have a look. Oh, single track has already had a moment at turn 1. I'm not sure what happened there, unfortunately. Monster right up the back of Armagh. Surely he's not going to send it. No, he's not. Good. Please remember that we still have about 9 racing laps left to go, so we don't need to be sending it yet.
No, plenty of time.
Yeah, you can send it in about 6 laps. You'll be fine.
I'm not 100%. I might be just losing it a bit now, but I swear I just saw a raindrop. Look.
Oh, please. Oh, please.
I think it might just be wishful thinking. It just looked like something came past on the
Don't
screen.
build my hopes like that, Steve. I'd love to see that right now.
Yeah, that would definitely spice it up at the end. It's definitely looking from Bit's car at the moment, coming up that hill at the back. It's definitely getting more hazy for sure.
It is, yeah.
7 laps.
Oh, it looked like Kid nearly lost it there.
Yeah, I think Bit just had a bit of a moment there himself with Smith. I think both came out okay, but a little bit of touching.
I mean, right now, huge shout out to Monster. He's having a cracking little stint here. Really putting Armagh under some pressure is what I was trying to say there.
I've been on board. Bit's just got the move done on the Smith, so I think he's going to try and hone in on that now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, realistically, this is just the most infuriating racing in the world. Is it just being one long DRS train?
This is like a little sprint race now as well.
Yeah. You can be really quick through the middle sector and you can't get past, 'cause let's be honest, the middle sector of Brazil is about as wide as a toy car.
Yeah.
And then you can't get past on a straight because you're all in DRS, unless you're single track on Smith, who has apparently made the move. Well done.
I think Armagh just got the move on Monster.
Oh, and just went through on Monster.
Monster's got any damage?
No, he's got 2 end plates. Definitely still got a steering wheel.
I'm quite surprised by that with the medium runners.
Yeah.
Maybe the changeover's already there.
I'd be surprised if it was that quick, but it could be.
Me too, but it does seem a bit weird. Lost 2 positions there. Didn't seem to have a moment himself.
Armagh does seem more confident on his mediums than Kid or Saviour on their respective tyres. So maybe the mediums was the safe and actually correct option.
A little bit.
He's trying to not make the move too soon, you know?
Yeah, he's gaining on Saviour though, more than Saviour was gaining on Kid.
Yeah. This is where tactics really come into play. You want to make the move, but you don't want to do it so soon that they can make the move back at the right moment.
Yeah, Saviour now. Personally, if I was Saviour, I'd be sitting, like exactly what you just said, I'd be sitting there just trying to stay in the DRS, hold it out till lap 35.
And then make the move and drive away.
Yeah, go for it. Save your battery and then spend it all in the last lap. Just
absolutely.
Check your batteries for all sorts at the moment. Everyone looks pretty good at the front.
Yeah, there's nobody who's, at least in the front four, who's particularly used any battery at all.
No. Maybe they're listening and they're all waiting.
They're all learning from our wisdom.
Yeah.
He sort of had half a look, sort of, am I going to get the move done there? And then he went, absolutely not, let's wait.
Oh, single track's just got bit. Right.
He's slowly getting those moves done, to be fair.
Yeah, I think Ant's just keeping Armar honest at the moment. Like,
yeah. Having said that.
Alright, back up. I thought he was going to send it around the outside then.
I was about to be like, can you just not? I've had enough of this today.
Monster, no!
Oh, 10 seconds!
That's brutal.
I think we might see that in stewarding.
Possibly. That's a bit of a harsh one.
A gentle reminder to anyone listening, if you are going to ask for any time off, then you need to provide a race director, because we've had someone forget recently, so save your race director, people, and then we can look at giving you time penalty removals.
Always useful. I'm still not really going for it.
He's not going for it, but...
Oh, no!
Oh, monster!
Oh, dear. This is not a nice finish to Monster's race. Gonna make a move.
I'll give Armar this. He wasn't making the move, but he's keeping these tier 1 boys honest.
He is.
He's not fallen off in any way, shape or form. Oh, what's happened to Monster now?
Nothing major. It nearly happened. He's right behind single track, and it's a little bit of a moment which could have been disastrous, but it's okay.
It's the other thing you forget is how much the dirty air impacts you on this game.
Yeah, I'm convinced Ant's just being Mr. Patient at the moment. I think he sees a win here, I reckon.
Possibly, yeah.
Comfortably sort of waiting.
I mean, Kid is doing absolute bits on those 16-lap-old hard tyres. He's doing really, really well.
Yeah, I must admit, I wasn't expecting him to hang it out in front there.
No, absolutely not.
Really was not.
Question is, can single track get back on the top 4 now? Having said that, here comes Monster!
Gotta leave the room.
Big lack of traction there for Monster, unfortunately. Oh, please don't, Monster. Please don't, please don't, please don't. Thank you. Don't send it there, people, please.
Now, I mean, for Ant now, really, like I say, I appreciate he could be waiting, but realistically, he needs to be waiting in second place, not third.
Yeah, he really wants to get past Saviour right now.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Now.
And he has listened.
Yeah, both got DRS. Just,
oh, big lock up from Ant there. Very nearly lost it.
It really didn't look like he was going to get it stopped there. Oh, here we go. It's going to be a double.
No, Ant has to back out. Saviour may have picked his moment very well here.
Possibly. I think it might be a bit too soon.
If he can have a really good middle sector, if he's got the life in those tyres, he can open up enough of a gap on Kid that he can hold this.
It's going to be a very big push, I think. Like I say, Kid's been amazing on those hards.
I've got to give him absolute respect. He's absolutely driving the wheels off of this car right now. End of the middle sector, he's still only 2.5 tenths off Xavier.
It's going to have it back.
That was an absolutely brilliant sector by Kid.
It was, but he should wait now really for the last...
Oh, here comes Ant as well!
Straight up the inside.
They're going to battle. This could be the gap that Kid needs. They're fighting through the centre S's. That is going to give Kid a gap.
And it's bringing Armour in behind him as well.
He's got enough. He stays ahead at the end of the DRS straight. Obviously, it is a very long run to the line, so it is not over yet.
No. And Ant is all over Xavier. Oh, it's got 3 seconds. Oh, everyone's back ends now getting all twitchy.
Oh yeah, there are some dead tyres on this track. Can Xavier do it? I'm not sure he can.
I don't think he's going to get it done. Battery life. Yeah, I don't think he's got enough, to be honest. I think Kid's done it.
Do you know what? Massive congratulations to Kid, who is going to take the win. Armour gets Ant at the line to take P3. What a finish by Armour.
What a race that was.
That was a brilliant race. Oh my gosh.
That was a lot more eventful than I was expecting it to be, with the unfortunate lack of people on track for the last race this evening. But
absolutely, but no, that was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, good one. Enjoyable.
So there you go, Kid on the top step. I can't remember the last time we saw Kid on the top step, you know?
No point in me checking my memory banks for that one.
Yeah, but I can't remember him being there for a long time, and there was a time where he was very regularly up there, so very, very good to see him up there. But there we go. So, provisional finishing positions, obviously assuming that stewarding, you know. Kid takes the win, followed by Xavier and Armour on the podium. Then you've got Ant, Single Track, Bit, Smith, and Monster were our finishers. Then you've got Loppy, G-Star, Cloud, and Scottish Ninja. So, who is your driver of the day?
Well, it's got to be Kid, ultimately. Nothing else I can say.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, when Xavier stopped and got onto those soft tyres, you thought he was just going to drive away, but he didn't. Kid had an absolutely monster stint on those hards, but I'm actually going to give it to Armour.
Oh, you're going Armour, okay.
He had a cracking race, and he held it with the Tier 1 boys. He did everything he needed to do. It was absolutely brilliant. I mean, fair play to him.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
So thank you all for joining us. That is one of our reruns done. We will be back on Wednesday, where the Extreme Boys will be doing a rerun of Las Vegas. No, not Las Vegas.
Kota, isn't it?
Kota. Oh, no! We're going to rerun Kota.
I think that's it.
I thought we'd gotten...
It's marked here, but...
I thought we'd gotten out of that one, but okay. Apparently we're going to rerun Kota. I love Kota. Kota's fine. And thank you for joining me, Steve. It's been great being on comms with you.
No problem at all. And yourself. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. And all of you as well. See you on Wednesday. Good night.